What is good, boys and girls who's watching my channel right now? And today, I'm back with another video. It's the same day, just a couple hours later. But besides that, I'm back with another reaction video, and today I'm gonna what are we gonna say? Today I'm gonna react to why men don't want to be men anymore. Now, I'm a girl, so I can't really speak on this. So I'm just gonna react to it. I'll say my opinion if I want to. And yeah, let's get into it. And his channel will be in my description.
Men don't want to be men no more. And men also aren't growing up. And the reason on why this is probably not as predictable as you think. At the same time, it does make a lot of sense. The reason why men don't want to be men is simply because women don't like men no more. Let me explain. The reason why women don't like men is because they've had crazy bad experiences with certain men. Like the amount of horror stories that I've heard just from my female friends about just doing weird things is insane. Like I've heard countless stories of guys just pulling their dick out on FaceTime and just jerking that shit off while a girl is talking to them on the phone. And they're not even dating or talking. Like it's just so much crazy shit that I just be seeing and hearing, like, bro. Like it really makes you like really understand what certain women have to go through. And then not to mention all the rapists, harassers, EDPers that are just roaming the streets freely, bro. And then I didn't even mention the abusers. Like there's just a lot of weird motherfuckers that just do weird things to women. And then weird people be ruining it for the rest of us. Because truthfully and honestly, not all men are like that. Actually, majority of men aren't like that. In my opinion, at least 99.5% of men aren't like that. But it's that 0.5% that really ruin it for the rest of us. And I know as guys, we can't really imagine that shit happening to us. But you gotta imagine, if you had those bad experiences with men that you trusted, or just men in general, it's kind of hard to like other men when you don't know if they're weird or not. Like for example, it's like if you're on the phone with an ugly fat girl. You know, a real 2 out of 10 on the scale. And out of nowhere, she just pulls out her titties. Like at first thought, you'll probably wonder, damn, why are they so saggy? But once you come to your senses, you probably gonna be traumatized. Like I know good and damn well, if I was talking to one of my friends and he just whipped his dick out and started stroking that shit, I will be traumatized. And even though this is a big problem, this isn't the only reason why women don't really like men no more. The other reason is, yo, our friend has a new Halloween drop. We have 2 new hoodies and 2 new shirts. A lot of women refuse to be with an average man. Like attractive description in my conversation. Besides that, I love y'all and let's get back to
I'll put his link in my description too. So.
The video. The other reason is because they like attractive men, not average men. Like I swear to God, nowadays a lot of women refuse to be with an average man, even if they're average themselves. Like for whatever reason, a lot of women don't realize that not everybody can have that 6'5" professional basketball player, or that 6'2" local trapper that has a Hellcat and probably beats women. Like there is nothing wrong with dating an average Juan, who's a cool 5'7" and does construction. Don't ask me why I gave him that job. Or a 5'9" Jeremy that works a regular IT job. Like there is nothing wrong with these average guys. They have a stable living. Most likely they're good people. Most importantly, you actually have a chance with them. See, what women fail to realize is when you chase these men that are very attractive or very high value, a lot of women are chasing them too. And most of the time, these men are going to want high value people too. If that high class man decides to actually mess with you, most of the time, he's gonna cheat. Like why would a man settle for average when he can have more? It might not be right, but that's just how it is. So then these women get mad that these men cheated on them, when honestly, you really never had a good chance anyways. But to them, of course, that doesn't matter. And instead of realizing the situation, they just go on to resent men even more. But instead of being self-aware and realizing that that average guy is probably for them, they keep on going for these high-class men and keep on getting rejected. And the same thing keeps on happening. But the part that nobody talks about is what that whole cycle does to these average men. These average men are left into an area where oftentimes they can't get the woman that they actually want because that woman wants someone who's out of their league. So now these guys have to settle for women that they don't actually want, but they settle because they have no other option. It's either that or they end up lonely and they never end up finding a woman. And this process has become more and more of a problem in recent years. And a big catalyst of this is dating apps. The whole process that I just broke down is literally what happens with dating apps. Dating apps is just not fair for the average man. It's basically impossible for them to survive on there. And when the average man can't find the woman he wants, or can't find women at all, they always resort to one thing: their hand and their meat. And that's one of the main reasons on why we have such a big problem with prawn and OnlyFans nowadays. When men have nothing else to resort to, we always resort to our hand. And we do that every single goddamn time. Every week, some people every day, every single time they get horny. It's a huge problem in our society nowadays, but nobody actually talks about why it's a problem. This is why. That's why men buy OnlyFans. That's why people like Corinna Kopf and Bad Baby make millions from this shit. Because there's a lot of lonely and pussyless average men that are roaming around looking to get a nut off. A lot of times, they resort to that. But I mean, eventually, every man does get tired of jerking off at some point. It's cool if you haven't done it in a while, but like, if you're doing it every single day, you will get desensitized to it. Once you get desensitized to it, you start resorting to other things. More hardcore porn, more crazier stuff, more OnlyFans subscriptions, hell, drugs, smoking every day, gas, drinking, other stuff that gets you little cheap thrills or just a
Putting Snoop Dogg is crazy. Putting Snoop Dogg is crazy.
Feeling, a good feeling, better than what you're feeling regularly. And something that a lot of people don't talk about is all of this shit decreases your testosterone a lot. Like, people don't understand how much jerking off just kills your testosterone. Like, that feeling of post-nut clarity and being tired after you jerk off is your testosterone leaving your body. And if you don't know, testosterone is what makes men men. But if you don't have a lot of that, you turn feminine. You start having feminine traits, doing feminine things, being way more emotional than you should be. And naturally, some guys are just born like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's certain things that men should always have no matter what. And nowadays, we're losing some of them things. And as you keep on spiraling down this deep path of loneliness, eventually you'll get to the state of where nothing really feels good anymore. Don't like jerking off no more. You rely on drugs to feel happy. At this point, your health has probably declined a little bit. You get a little chubby or maybe even fat. You don't like going outside as much anymore because, truthfully and honestly, outside is scary to you because you don't have enough testosterone. And all of that combined can turn the average man into the weird guy. And once the average man turns into that weird guy, the process starts all over again. That weird guy will go on to do weird things like harass women, abuse women, try and grape women because they can't pull them consensually, or even to one of the darkest of dark lows, resorting to minors. And I think we've all seen one example of that. If you know, you know. But I guarantee this process is a big reason on why he turned out how he is. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of men are going to go down this same path. Now, of course, I do got to say this. Not every pedo, not every abuser, not every graper goes down this path. Some people are born or turn into monsters just on their own. It's sad, but that's just how it is. But I feel like in our future, we're going to see more and more of these weirdos. And whether you think this cycle is true or not, I'm telling you right now, we will be seeing more weirdos in the future. Now, for the conclusion on why men don't want to be men no more. If I had to summarize it to one main point, it's simply because it's really, really hard to be a man nowadays. I mean, you have to go through all the things I've listed. You have to go through extreme loneliness, not being chosen by women that you realistically should pull, being accused of being a bad person by women who haven't even met you, having to worry about actually finding a wife in this climate where, I'm gonna be real, a lot of the females aren't really it right now. It's a lot of things you have to go through as a man that just makes being a man in this generation extremely hard, especially if you're not attractive. And while you're beating all your problems away, you don't really realize that you're slowly beating your masculinity out of your body. So at the end of the day, nothing will get better. This is why men don't want to be men no more. It's not just because we're lazy, it's because we're being dealt with horrendous cards. Why would you even want to try when the odds are already stacked against you? But I don't like making videos without solutions. So here's the solution. Work hard. Get a bag. Make sure you're stable in your life. Make sure you're focusing on yourself. And eventually, women will come. And maybe it might not be the woman that should be on your standard. But I like to think about it like this. I'd rather have a good girl than a fine girl. Because a good girl will make sure I'm straight. She's a good person. That fine girl might be trying to be a good girl for somebody else. Go get you a good girl. Because the only guy that she wants to be a good girl to is you. That's all you should care about. And if you can't find yourself a good girl, I mean, hey, there's always a Lizzo. But besides all that, that's pretty much it. Appreciate all y'all for watching. Go follow all the socials, especially my Instagram. Why do I only have 14K over there, bro? Like, I have 300,000 subscribers. I should at least have 100,000 over there on Instagram, bro. I gotta text the host somehow, bro. Like, come on, lock in. Help me out. At King of Disguise. Link is in the description and in the comment section. Follow the rest of the socials, too.
And if you like this reaction video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and post notifications. And yeah, this might be the last video for today. See y'all tomorrow. And yeah. I can't really relate to this because I'm a girl, but yeah, peace out.